Williams. Speaking of horses, we're in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is the beach trail ride. It's for the American Heart Association, so it's called the American Heart Association Myrtle Beach Ride. They raise a lot of money every year for the Heart Association. We want to show you around some of what's going on here, some of the events people are involved in. So join us here on Speaking of Horses. Let's take a look around the Myrtle Beach American Heart Association Trail Ride, November 2022.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
We would like to introduce you to Orange Slow Feeders. Wonderful feeders, made in the USA, very heavy construction, 5 to 7 year life on these feeders, from small bales, trailer hanging bags, to large round bales, and many of your feeding solutions. Brian from Orange Slow Feeder says, check us out, orangeslowfeeder.com. Well, you know, this is normally a people campground. This is the Lakewood campground on the south edge of Myrtle Beach. But for the Heart Ride, their donation is they let riders in from all over into the camp. There's about 1,400 horses here preparing to ride all weekend. It's about a 5-day weekend, really, at Myrtle Beach. And they raise $2. American Heart Association. Hey, it's Wayne Williams. Speaking of horses, once again, we're in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for the American Heart Association ride. This is the 41st year, raising money for something that has become close to me, the American Heart Association. And this ride raises a lot of money for the AHA. Elizabeth. Brian, I knew I'd forget it. Elizabeth is my guest, and you're out of the AHA office in Charleston?
I am.
So now, but you're also a horse person, right?
Yes, I have been riding my entire life. My mom was riding with me while she was pregnant with me, so it's such a joy to be able to come up here to Myrtle Beach and volunteer and help out with this event every year.
So now you've been doing this quite a few years, right?
Yes, this is my second year doing this. I've been with AHA for 2 years, but I plan to come every year. It's still here.
Well, I'll tell you, when I first got wind of this through one of the vendors over here, Orange Slow Feeder, who is also a sponsor of my TV show, you know, Brian told me one day, he says, you really ought to come to Myrtle Beach. I said, I've been to Myrtle Beach, I love it. No, he says, you got to come for the ride. Last year was a banner year at 40 years, and I think right at $500,000 was raised.
Yeah.
This year, you got great weather. It's got to be 75 right now. Anyway.
I think so, definitely.
People are actually on the beach, enjoying the beach. It's just it's a great ride. The poker run was just going on, but this entire campground. Thank you to Lakewood, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
I know my daughter and her husband and grandkids come down here from Indianapolis and camp probably every other year. But it's hard for them to fathom that there's horses in this campground this time of year.
Right.
But they open it up to horses, and you can ride on the beach. And so what are some of the activities you're involved in this year?
So I was a volunteer for the poker run, which just happened this afternoon, which is a series of 5 stops where you go within the campground, some on the beach, some on the trails, kind of in the parking lot areas. And you pick up a card and you try, and you're playing a game of poker, so you try to get the best hand possible. Right.
Poker runs are a lot of fun. And tomorrow is the parade.
Yes, which is the biggest event here.
And I know a year or so ago when I was down, because of COVID and some restrictions, the parade didn't really happen. But it's back. Everybody decorates and does a Now, is there a theme for the parade this year, costume?
You know, I am not sure if there's a costume theme this year.
Well, all I know is about 3 or 4 years ago, it seemed like everybody was doing Wizard of Oz. I don't know why, because I never did hear there was a theme, but there must have been a million Dorothys and Totos going by. But it's all great fun with your horses, great camping. You get to ride on the beach all the way up into the south of downtown Myrtle Beach and back on Saturday. It's all permitted, and you donate money, and these groups compete against each other. Who can raise the most money? Now, have you been in one of those groups? Or?
I have not been in one of the groups for the beach ride, but I do know that you get certain prizes if you raise a certain amount of money at each level. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun competitive thing you do to implement fundraising in for the AHA while also having fun games to play while riding.
Right. Well, it's a fantastic event, and any parting words you would like to tell everybody about the Myrtle Beach Heart Ride?
This is a huge event for us. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States, so every dollar and every fundraising effort counts, and we are so thankful to have this event here every year and for so many people to trailer in all over the coast. So we are just so appreciative to be back. We're appreciative for a 75 and sunny weekend, and we're so thankful for all our riders every year. This event has a strong volunteer base, and it just keeps growing, and we just love the enthusiasm, and we all love coming to do this. It's such a happy event.
Well, being a trail rider, my wife and I have for years, being able to ride horses, mix it with the beach, in the warm weather, in November, and I live in Wisconsin, so this is really nice, and raise money for the Heart Association, which has become more important to me over the years. So everything just comes together for a really great run in doing this. So, we're really happy to be here. I love coming down here, supporting this event, and it's fantastic. Elizabeth, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. We're in Myrtle Beach. Stay with us right here on Speaking of Horses. Well, it's Saturday, November the 5th, 2022. We're at the Myrtle Beach Heart Ride for the American Heart Association. Their goal, they're almost there, $500,000 again, and they are very close to that, 490-some thousand at this point. So it looks like they're going to make it. Well, as we said, we've got over 1,400 horses in camp. They're camped all over the campgrounds. Normally a people campgrounds, but we're very thankful to Lakewood for letting us be in here every year and do this. 41 years now at the Myrtle Beach Heart Association Trail. Normally would be the volleyball courts, but right now, for the horses, it is the obstacle course.
seen that big old shot go in and about that long. How about they give me a full, I seen that one. You didn't feel good.
They are our family, and we only want the best for them. No standing water means clean, good tasting, algae-free, mosquito-free, and virus-free water. No risk of electric shock, no risk of fire from faulty wiring. Cool water in the summer, warm water in the winter. Water delivered fresh from the water supply at 50 degrees year-round. Drinking Post water.
We at Speaking of Horses are extremely pleased to have the Natural Vet as one of our sponsors. Natural Vet has been developing and helping horse people and horse products for many, many years, from bug check to help with bugs and intestinal problems to Red Cow to help fortify the horse's internal systems, to all of the products to help your horse. Please check out the Natural Vet. So what's your name?
That's Lakota and that's Spice on the other side.
Okay, and what's your name?
Jean.
Jean, what last name?
Whitmer.
Now, how many years have you been raising funds here for the Heart Association?
Since 2005.
Since 2005,
Yeah.
Wow. So you come here every year and do this, and you said you're from
Maryland.
Maryland, right?
My sister's from Georgia, so I actually have to fly down to see her, and then we get ready and we drive from there to here, which is another 7 hours. So it's kind of a big, planning event to do.
Well, it's for a very good cause.
It's for a very good cause.
Yes. All right, thank you. Well, it's Saturday, November the 5th, 2022. We're at the Myrtle Beach Heart Ride for the American Heart Association. Their goal, they're almost there, $500,000 again, and they are very close to that, 490-some thousand at this point. So it looks like they're going to make it. Well, right now we're just going to watch some of the riders gathering. They're all heading to the beach. They're going to start that big ride up the beach from Lakewood Campground into downtown Myrtle Beach on the beach. In fact, it's a ride. Good, how are you doing? And here we are out on the beach at Lakewood, and the horses are gathering. We're getting ready this fine Saturday morning to start the ride down. There'll be about 1,400 horses when we start, and the ride will be going down the beach. What a beautiful morning to ride your horse right along the beach in the water. Here at the Myrtle Beach Heart Association ride. Some people are schooling horses, having fun. What a great morning and a great ride. And a great event to raise money for the American Heart Association. We at Speaking of Horses are very proud to have Total Equine Feeds as a sponsor for our many programs. We are really happy to have Dr. Harry Anderson and Total Equine Feeds involved with Speaking of Horses. They manufacture all type of feeds and nutritional products for all types of animals, horses, equine, cattle, birds, all types. Total Equine Feeds is a great supporter and longtime friend of Speaking of Horses. Thank you to Total Equine Feed. Well, there's a look around the Myrtle Beach Heart Association ride, the trail ride on the beach for 2022, raising once again right around $500,000. Thanks for joining us here on Speaking of Horses.